All right, let's see here. So, I'm making a quick little video down here. Oh, there I am. That's cool. Just to help you guys out with cutting out house numbers. So, let's go to Google real quick. Let's go to Etsy. And I want to show you guys what I'm thinking. Then I want to basically design one in front of you just to give you some more tips and tricks in Fusion 360. Help you with this whole process because it is a big program to be able to do. So let's go to Etsy real quick. Metal house numbers. There's 3 different designs I think that we could easily do and work out well. This is the design I want to do with you right here. But then this design is pretty cool where there's just a bar on the bottom. And then I was looking at another one. It's basically negative space. Something like this right here where you basically have it's cut out. You could see the house through it, or you could put a backing plate behind it. I did grab these offsets, 3/4 inch offsets. I got over 100, so this gives you an idea. We're going to start out with this guy, and that's going to give you a lot of the tools to be able to do this kind of stuff. All right, so I'm going to open up Fusion 360, take it on out. You can look at pricing there, but I think it's going to boil down to, and we have to decide, somewhere between $10 to $15 per digit is pretty comparable with what the market is right now. For example, this kind that we're doing, I mean, they're looking at between $32.50 to $87, and that depends on how big the sign is and how long the house number is. Okay? All right. So let's see here. First thing, always start from the top. Always start from the top when using the plasma cutter, because then the Z-axis is automatically in the correct position. Okay? Let's see here. We're going to go here. This is a sketch. I don't like how they do that right there, how they label it. This means sketch right here. Sketch is 2D. All right? I'm going to go out here. Document settings. I just want to, yep, I'm in inches. So that's good. I'm going to do this one in inches. All right? So I'm going to go here to create. We're in a sketch right now. I want to make a rectangle. And so I'm not seeing that. So I'll hit here. Oh, I didn't hit this. I didn't hit what plane I want the sketch to be in. Sorry. All right. So now we have our tools. I'm going to hit rectangle. I want to be in rectangle. We're going to get rid of that for now. Start at the origin. It's just good practice for designers to always start at the origin. That's not big enough, but I'm just going to go there. That's just starting our rectangle right there. This guy right here, sketch dimensions. This is where I'm going to say exactly how big it's going to be. I'm going to make it for starters. We could change it later on. Ooh, that was not good. I want to do 24 inches wide, so 24 right there. And I'm going to make it 10 inches tall. That's a good size house number. I'm using my scroll wheel here to zoom in and out. I'm just going to grab my pan tool down here just to go ahead and move it in place. Hit escape so that I'm not using my pan tool anymore. Okay? So now I got my outside rectangle, my outside box. I want a 2-inch border on here. Now I can make another rectangle and then resize it to be 2 inches inside. I am going to hit escape to get out of my dimension tool, but I am going to use a trick. It's called offset. So I'm going to go ahead, hit offset right here. And you wouldn't have to do this, but this makes things a little bit faster. I'm going to hit that, okay? So now it's going to offset from that line. I want a 2-inch border, so I'm going to make sure everything is done. And I don't want a 29-inch border. That would be bad, okay? So it put in this red. It's giving me a preview of my border, but that's not where I want it. They went out from that line. I want to go in from that line. So there's 2 ways to do it. I'm going to use the flip button to do it. So I hit flip. And, or you could do, oh, they did it for me. You could do -2 inches. All right. So I'm going to hit OK. that looks pretty good. I like what that border looks like. Eventually we're going to have to put the numbers in there. Okay, so we got that down. I want to now make it into a solid. So I'm going to go up here to solid. I'm going to use this guy right here, the extrude button. Okay, now first thing it's saying, all right, we need to know what you want to extrude. I want to click in the border, not in the middle, so we don't want to extrude the middle. I want to click on the border. Okay, so I clicked on that. We're going to make it bigger. I'm going to make this one, I'm just going to go 0.25. Even though the steel we're using is closer to, what we're going to use is about 1/8 of an inch thick. I'm just going to use 0.25 because it's not going to matter once we are cutting everything from the very top. Okay, that looks good. That looks like how I want it to be. And so, bam, we have it right there. Okay, now, next thing, I want to put in the numbers. And I want the numbers overlapping in the top and the bottom. I don't want it to cut out and then the numbers all fall out. That would be bad. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to do another sketch. Boom. I'm going to sketch on this top surface. Now later on, and we'll get there, but later on, we might have to change what direction we're actually extruding. We're going to sketch on that surface. I need to grab my pan tool just to bring it back into the middle. Hit escape to turn off the pan tool. It's really important to know what tool you're actually holding, and you really have to look at, what's blued in to see what are we actually holding. Down here, create, it's not giving me any text up here that I can go onto easily, so I have to go into create, which gives me more options. And I'm going to go ahead and go down here. All right. Type, do I want just text or do I want it to following a rectangular frame or something like that? I'm just going to go normal text for now, and I'm going to start clicking. I'm going to click inside of this. I don't want to be right onto the line. It does want to snap into the line, and I want to give it a little space between this line here and where we go, because we're going to be starting the numbers right about there. So I'm just kind of looking at the grid. I'm about 2.5 boxes in, so I'm going to click right there, and I'm not dragging. I just clicked once, and then I'm going out to the other side. It's about 2 and a little bit. Once again, I don't want to be right on this line. I want to be down just a little bit because we want our numbers to float into the outside. And I'm going to click again. All right. Now I could tilt my box, but I definitely don't want to do that. Sample text. I'm going to use 1032. Okay, 1032. Why? Because my house number is 10325. I'm just doing 4 digits because I want to take a look at what 4 digits look like. I was kind of going into the, where all the student addresses are and stuff like that. I'm seeing a lot of 4 digits. Just in general, I see a lot of 4-digit type addresses. For that reason, I want to do kind of a sample. We will have to figure out how big we do this kind of stuff. I made mine 24 inches wide with a 2-inch border all the way around it. If someone just has a 2-digit number, it's going to be much less. We're going to have to make that border probably like 16 inches and then come in 2 inches on each side just to make it look good. Now we can always go back and we can adjust this border. It's not like a one-shot deal. We can always go back and we can edit it. Okay, 1032, that's what we got. Arial was not a good text that I found. We'll take a look at it right there. I found something that I did like better. Now down here in the height, it's tiny. You can see that. We want it so much bigger than that. I have a 6-inch space that I'm filling, but I want to go over the top and the bottom. So I'm going to go 6.25. All right, 6.25. Now I'm looking at it, that doesn't look too bad. We're overlapping in the top. It is fuzzy right now. It won't be fuzzy later on. It's overlapping in the top. It's overlapping a little bit in the bottom. So that I do like right now. So I'm going to stick with the 6.625. What I have found is when you use different fonts, that does change it quite a bit. So I'm trying to find Bangla MN right here, Bangla MN. I used that before, and that worked quite well for me with spacing. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK right there. It's looking decent, but I'm going to move it over. I'm going to grab it. I'm just going to move it over a little bit. I'm centering it to the left and to the right, and I want some overlap in the top, and I want some overlap in the bottom down there. So I'm liking that, definitely. Now I'm going to go to solid because I want to make this thing solid. Go down here, okay? It's saying, all right, what do you want to do? Go over my numbers, and I'm going to click that. So it's not just going to do the 3. It will do the whole sketch like that, all right? So I'm going to tweak it here just a little bit. Bam. How far do we want to do it? I'm going to say, what do we do, 0.25 before? It's important to get the same thing, okay? Can't have 2 decimal places in. That won't work out well. So, see if I can get rid of one of those. 0.25. Now, notice it's trying to pull me up 0.25. I don't want that. I want to go down 0.25, so I'm actually going to make that a negative 0.25. All right? Also, down here, operation. It wants to cut. I don't want to cut those numbers. Then it would just cut little arcs up here, little arcs up there. That's all we would get. So I want to go to join, okay? So now that's really important. Make sure it's joining it. That's going to get rid of those lines on the top, lines on the bottom, and make it stay in there, all right? See if we did it correctly. Boom. Took a little bit for it to crank through, but that does not look bad at all. All right, I'm going to start putting in some little holes. I want holes here in the corners, okay? I measured these little offset guys. I know you probably won't be able to see them very well with the camera right there, but just these little offsets right here. Some of this I might end up doing, well, you get the idea. But I think if we use these little offsets to hold it off of people's houses, give it a little three-dimensional character, I think that will look good. For that reason, I'm going to put 4 holes through here. You probably only have to see one, but we'll see. So I'm going to do another sketch right there, and go ahead and make a hole. Right about there is where I want it to be. Let's see here. Dimension it. Click on the little guy. Boom. 0.3 will be good. It's actually a 0.25 bolt, if you will. But let's go 0.3. Just give it a little, tiny little bit extra space in there. Now I'm going to zoom in here. This tool is still blue, and that's good. I want it 1 inch in from each side. So I'm going to click here, click there. I'm going to say, not 0.99, I want 1 inch exactly. And then from the center, not from the outside of the circle, but from the center of the circle, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to make that a 1 inch as well. Zoom out, use my pan tool, get to the next corner, zoom in. Now I'm going to keep doing these right here all the way around. I think my video edit time is going to go up because I can only record for free for 15 minutes. But I'll go ahead and finish this, 0.3. I'll finish the other holes off camera. Basically, I'm just going to take these and cut these out. On the next video, I'll just go through once again, and this is on my previous video as well, but I'll just go through the post-processing, how to end up getting it into a file that the plasma cutter can actually work at. So we got this. I'm just going to stop this video right here, and I'll finish cutting the holes.